The flu may be going around, but the only thing that's sick at Hardwood Heroes is our show today.
That may be your worst pun so far, but I'll agree that we've got a pretty great lineup for you guys today. We'll get to hear about an NBA legend's impact on the sport.
Plus, we'll catch up on all the TVC action from this week. So let's get this show on the road and start episode 3.
This past week, we said goodbye to a man who impacted the sports world like few else have. The tragic loss of Kobe Bryant and his daughter Gianna have left fans, coaches, and players in shock. We had the opportunity to ask around the Tri-Valley Conference about the legacy of the Black Mamba, Kobe Bryant.
I grew up watching him. He was my favorite player growing up. Me and my best friend growing up, we just watched him every day. And we just tried to model his moves and stuff, so we grew up watching him. He's an idol of mine. It was terrible to lose him in that way.
But yeah, like I said, it was, I watched a couple things that TNT had the other night, man. If you don't get, that don't bring a tear to your eye. Some of the stuff like Shaq talking about him, Jerry West talking about him, that's heartwarming, man. But the way he played, I was always a big Michael Jordan fan. But by God, Kobe's right up there, man. Him and LeBron and Michael, they're all three up there, man. But that's definitely a big loss for the NBA.
And then his time, he like had 2 careers where he wore the 2 different numbers, and he kind of transformed himself from just the hardcore, I'm going to get after you and win at all costs, where he started mentoring other players coming into the league. And then, as everyone's talked about since the tragic passing, is what kind of family man he was and how close he was with his daughters. So it's a great loss for anyone that's truly a basketball fan of all levels.
After years of watching him play basketball, it was the impact that he made around the basketball community and the world that will be remembered.
Taking that Kobe competitiveness to a new level were the Vinton County Vikings, and lead reporter Jacob Murray explains how that helped the girls get revenge.
After losing to the Lady Buckeyes earlier in the month, the game this past Thursday night became important to the Lady Vikes season. So that big game
could have been the entire conference, in your opinion?
Looking ahead to the head-to-head records with the rest of the conference, Nelsonville York was the only one to come into MacArthur and take out the Lady Vikings, meaning this was a huge game in deciding who will win the crown in the end. The game started off close, but the Lady Vikings exploded in the third quarter, outscoring NY 27-6, thanks to their shots finally finding the bottom of the net after their early game struggles.
Big games mean that players have to step up, and all the girls seem ready to go in on this one.
When talking to Morgan Bentley after the game, it was clear that they weren't happy watching the Lady Buckeyes celebrate after beating them earlier in the month, and their coach said it was best they took it a bit personal, and the intensity was there from the tip. Just look at that balanced attack from the entire squad. 18 points from both Bentley and Cameron Zinn, who also gave the Hurt sisters fits on the defensive end too. Antigua Bartow had 16 points, while Lacey Williams added 14. This team is tough to beat when they are focused like they were for that game.
For the boys, they had 3 games this week, with 1 yet to be played.
Well, the Vikings started out the week losing 82-51 against a very good Jackson Ironmen squad. This was their first game played in about 10 days, so there might have been some rust factoring into that one. But the Buckeyes were a different story, taking them down 84-59, and shout out to senior Aaron Stevens on his 16-point night for this all-around team effort.
Well, this should prepare them for the toughest part of their schedule all year.
This stretch of games will be challenging as they play 2 of the top 3 teams in the conference. Tonight, they play River Valley. Next week, they play in Athens against the Bulldogs. Then Friday against the Meigs Marauders at home. Then on Tuesday, February 11th, they play the top team in the conference, the Alexander Spartans. And Coach Matt Combs knows the challenge ahead.
I know it's cliche, but when you've got this many league games in 2 weeks, you better just take them one at a time and really kind of focus on that. Our practices are a lot shorter at this time of year, so we have less prep time.
This stretch of games could determine how the Vikings will end this season, and if they can win a few of those games, this could be a very interesting end to the TVC Ohio race.
Yeah, this could throw a wrench in this conference. Thanks, Jacob. The next time you're scrolling through Snap Stories, saving streaks, and checking out new filters, add Hardwood Heroes on Snapchat. Each week, our digital team goes to a game and has exclusive content you can only find on our Snap Story. They'll have big plays, crowd reactions, and student section action. Be sure to follow at Hardwood Heroes on Snapchat to find this exclusive content and see when we'll be at your school next.
Here we go, Spartans! Here we go!
Now we're going back to Eagle Country to hear about the Eastern Eagles, and I'm here with Eastern reporter Dylan Thompson to tell me all about Eastern's week.
Well, T, it was light work for the Lady Eagles this week as they did not play a game due to illness. But for the men's team, it was a great week, securing 2 W's in Eagle Country.
Well, they might not have played this week, but the Lady Eagles did have some tough games coming up. What are these next ones looking like?
T, back when I used to play, I always thought any week where I didn't lose was a good week nonetheless. But looking forward in the Lady Eagles schedule, they're matching up against the 18-1 Warren Warriors on Saturday.
And the Warriors are no joke this year. How do you think Eastern will match up against them?
The Lady Eagles need a big night from Jennifer Parker and Sydney Reynolds. Going up against the Goliath and Warren, the Lady Eagles need to keep their defensive presence high this week, letting in just 12 points each half last game.
Well, let's hope these girls have a good game, Dylan. Who knows, we might even see an upset this Saturday. Now let's hop over to the boys' side of things. How did the Eagles fare this week?
Eastern was phenomenal on the hardwood this week. The Eagles are the big birds in the conference, sweeping both Falcons teams in 2 very different fashions.
Both Falcons, who are we talking about?
Starting the week against the Miller Falcons, the Eagles were in for a nail-biter. Exchanging leads multiple times throughout the game, the Eagles had to scrap to the final seconds in order to pull out a W.
A good team win for us. We had to grind it out. Some things didn't go our way. We had to keep our heads about us. And we always talk about grinding for 32 minutes, and that typifies what we preach to our kids every day in practice.
So they did good there, but what was the story Friday?
It was a completely different story on Friday night's matchup when they took on the Wahama White Falcons. Eastern controlled the ball on their side of the court for the majority of the game, and Garrett Behringer was having himself a night, ending with a smooth 25 points.
You know, we just came out with an aggressive mindset. You know, our coach preaches, be the aggressor. We wanted to come out, we wanted to be the aggressor. We wanted to attack them on the offensive end and the defensive end.
Well, it sounds like the Eagles are informed going into the end of the season. Who they play next?
Eastern is headed to Marauder Country on Saturday. Follow us on social media to see the results. But for Meg's League, Nick Hinthorn, it may be Meg's gang all the way for you, but nobody rocks like my boys in Reedsville.
Thanks for all your hard work.
Well, we're going to switch conferences now. You just heard him get called out by Dylan. We're here with the Meg's lead reporter, Nick Henthorn.
Yeah, Sam, pretty good week for the Marauders despite this nasty illness spraying around all of Southeast Ohio. I'm a little under the weather myself, but despite all the naysayers, it was still popping in Pomeroy, and the show must go on.
Well, that's great to hear, and we certainly appreciate you showing up, Nick. How did the Lady Marauders show up this week?
All right, last time I talked about how last week was a tough one for the Lady Marauders going 0-2, but this week I'll be singing a different tune. Some concrete progress for the girls' team.
You spent a lot of time last week talking about what this team could turn into over time. How did those predictions turn out?
Well, it's only 1 week, Sam. The process definitely isn't over yet, but this is a good step for Megs. Their first game saw them come up against the River Valley Lady Raiders, and while they dropped this one 45-55, that defense I talked about showed up for this one. The Lady Marauders held the opposition to just 33% shooting on the game. 3 players I talked about last week, Mallory Holly, Riley Lyle, and Bray Lilly, all had standout games on defense. Lilly, 4 steals, Holly, 4 steals and a block, 8 rebounds for Lyle, and a definite silver lining. Then, on Thursday, against Wellston, the girls went on the road and won 56-46. Again, the defense held Wellston to only 32% shooting, and Mallory Holly and Riley Lyle both had double-doubles. Holly with 17 points and 13 rebounds, Lyle with 10 and 15. They'll play Athens on Monday. We'll see if they can continue to progress.
That is definitely good to hear. Now that's only half the equation, though. How did the men's team do this week?
2 games and 2 wins for Megs. This week could mark a huge turning of the corner for Jeremy Hill's team.
That sounds pretty impressive. What did the Marauders do to get you so worked up this week?
Well, they started off the week with a 61-48 victory over River Valley. Coulter Cleveland had himself a night, 23 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. But that's not the one to talk about this week. We've got to get into the Friday night matchup between the Marauders and the Athens Bulldogs. There was plenty of action in this one, but we'll start in the 4th quarter. Game tied 54-all on the wing. A pass is intercepted by Wyatt Hoover. Hill laid in, Miggs takes the lead. There are some questions if this guy would play at all this season after a knee injury, but here he is making a huge play in a huge game. And speaking of huge plays, how about Braden Markins hitting this 3 with 2 minutes left? If one wasn't enough for you, how about another? This one will tie the game. But right after that 3, Coulter Cleveland muscles his way into the paint. That is in. Megs leads again. Now, Markins would get fouled, hit 2 clutch free throws, but Cleveland would come right back and get fouled himself. Could he sink his freebies, give the Marauders a win? That is a resounding yes. Megs wins a thriller 69-67.
Well, that was definitely a nail-biter you got to see. Thanks, Nick.
From Pomeroy to the Plains, we welcome Jack Denwood to the show to talk about the Athens Bulldogs. And Jack, we hear the name every week. How was Laura Mandrick against 2 of the tougher teams in the conference?
Well, T, we talk about mob mentality, and Laura Mandrick is the best example of that for this Lady Bulldogs team.
Mandrick was a force to be reckoned with on Monday as she dropped 18 points against Nelsonville York to become Athens' fourth all-time leading scorer. Many of her points came inside the paint as she forced her way through the defense. However, she didn't stop there. She dropped 7 more points against Alexander on Thursday.
Well, it seemed like Mandrick struggled scoring the ball against Alexander. What did the Spartans do to stop her?
Well, T, while she did score 7, all those points came in the first half. The Spartans played lights-out defense and pressured her and the rest of the Athens Bulldogs. Mandrick and the Bulldogs had a hard time controlling the ball against the suffocating Spartan defense.
Outside of Mandrick's rise in the all-time scoring list, what can the Lady Bulldogs take away from this?
T, you've heard us repeatedly talk about the youth of this team. I mean, there are teams in the NBA in this exact same situation. Their record may not look good, but they are a team of much youth and have shown signs of steady improvement. The Bulldogs will look to snap an 8-game losing streak with their last 4 games of the season.
Now let's talk about the boys. How did they do this week?
Well, the boys split their 2 road games this week. They opened the week with a 68-50 victory at Nelsonville York. Athens has now won 17 straight games against the Buckeyes. Against Megs, the Bulldogs started off hot with a 14-4 lead, but soon fell apart. They were down heading into the 4th quarter, but they didn't give up. The Bulldogs' final push fell short as Athens lost 69-67.
What went wrong for them against Megs?
The Bulldogs suffered a lot of turnovers in key parts of the game, giving Megs plenty of offensive opportunities.
And I'm sure they had some key players.
This week was all about the band of the Bradens. Braden Whiting had 24 points against NY and 14 against Megs on Friday. Braden Markins had a double-double of 21 points and 13 rebounds against the Buckeyes and had 22 points against the Marauders.
Common theme with the 2 Bradens. You know, they're outstanding. I wouldn't trade them for any guard duo in the league. You know, they've been doing this all year.
This Athens team alone has a lot of options for all hero team. It'll be hard to leave any one of these players out.
Absolutely. It'll be a tough decision, especially when it comes to Athens, but I know we can make it right. Thanks, Jack.
I don't know about you, but I can watch YouTube videos for hours, and I always like seeing what pops up on my feed, especially if it's Hardwood Heroes content. So check out the WOUB PBS YouTube page to find our game recaps, coach and player interviews, and even full episodes of our show. What could possibly be better than watching Hardwood Heroes whenever and wherever you want? I can't think of anything. So be sure to subscribe to the WOUB PBS YouTube page. And now we take a trip down to Albany, where both the Alexander boys and girls stayed at home this week. With me now is Alexander reporter Brian Kerp. We just heard from Athens. So how have the Lady Spartans been finding their groove?
Well, after 4 straight losses, they got a win last Thursday against Megs, and then they took care of some home cooking this week. The Lady Spartans began this week with a lopsided 56-18 victory over Wellston on Monday, allowing just 18 points. That is impressive, and they did that twice this week. On their senior night, the Lady Spartans once again held Athens in the teens with a 48-18 victory. In fact, Alexander forced more turnovers than the Lady Bulldogs scored points. That defense was just suffocating this week. And for a team that doesn't really score a lot of points, strong defensive play is essential as they near the playoffs.
Defense is important, but having some offensive contributors is also beneficial. Who were some of the standouts for the Lady Spartans?
Well, the lone senior for Alexander was Taylor Meadows. She had a solid night on Thursday. She had 11 points in front of her home crowd in the alley. With Meadows being the only senior, the Lady Spartans rely heavily on the underclassmen. Sophomore Jaden Mace led all scorers with 12 points on Thursday. It is key for the young players like Mace, Marley Grinstead, and Hope Richardson to chip in. Having this young core will not only help Alexander this season, but for the next few seasons.
It's pretty clear that the girls' team has some talented young athletes, and it seems like the boys have a young stud as well.
That's right, Sam. His name is Kyler Augustino. He's only a freshman, and he is for sure a worthy candidate for the All-Futures team. With J.K. Kern's sideline, the Spartans needed someone to step up, and DiAugustino has done just that. He can get it done on offense and on defense. In Alexander's 49-33 victory over Wellston on Tuesday, DiAugustino led the Spartans with 12 points.
Alexander had a tough matchup at home on Friday against Warren.
Yeah, the Spartans ultimately fell in that one, 57-47, but DiAugustino and Lucas Markins opened the game on fire. DiAugustino actually scored the Spartans' first 6 points and went down briefly with an injury, but came back and finished with a team-leading 23 points.
I just knew that my boys had my back, so I had to go back, and I had to come back and play that game for them. We knew they were going to come out and jump us, and we just had to keep our composure. We didn't have to let it speed us up. We just had to move the ball fast, find the open man.
So as Jack and Nick mentioned earlier, Athens was handed a loss by Megs. Even though the Spartans lost too, it was a non-conference game, so it does not affect that tight TVC Ohio race.
Yeah, the next few weeks are shaping up to be very exciting in the Ohio. Thanks, Brian.
He's gone from Waterford to Stewart, and now he's here. Ben Wilgopolsky has arrived. Now, what's going on with all these insane breakout teams? They've been cruising through the TVC Hawking.
Are you sure you want to do this? Because I can just spear you the details and say how good they're playing. Get it? Spear like a lance? Lancers?
I think you should just leave the puns to Sam, and let's go ahead and get on with the basketball.
Okay, well, let me tell you something, T. When we think about Federal Hawking girls, we think of nonstop rampage and a team full of talent.
Yeah, Paige Tolson and Emma Beha get it done every time.
Well, this Win Factory has another source of energy, Alexis Smith. She sent the Lady Lancers to the moon with 18 points out of the 58. This athlete was a key component in their victory over the Southern Tornadoes. On top of that, she had 6 rebounds, 5 steals, which showcased her ability to take over on both ends of the court. And wow, did she give it to her all from the start to the final buzzer. But what would I know? Coach Jeremy Tolson had a lot more to say about her impressive performance.
You can get her to play like that on a consistent basis. She's got a lot of talent. She just doesn't realize it. When she's firing and being aggressive to the basket, she's a special kid.
It's great to know that the powerhouse they are has reliable players all throughout their team, but what else happened this week?
Well, their game against Eastern was canceled, but let's talk more about that big win over Southern. That help came from the likenesses of Kylie Tabler, Paige Tolson, and Alexis Smith. Tabler and Tolson owned the arc, and Tabler came away with 9 points, and Tolson took home 10. This power trifecta is a force to be reckoned with. The Lancers, on the other hand, are an extremely productive team offensively speaking, and it's something that we all know.
Right. They've shown some huge improvement over the years, and now they're running through their conference.
That senior leadership from Bradley Russell and Quentin Basin has shown their ability to take charge and really help build their team back up. Their production in their game against Waterford prevailed. They were able to command the game right from the start. Plus, their ability to apply pressure on Waterford was key to snatching the ball away and making shots to win the game. Although their game against Southern was on Friday, and they did win 65-38 with Colin Jarvis scoring 25.
Quentin, I mean, he plays hard. He's got a motor on him. I mean, if it's 30 seconds, if it's 10 minutes he's on the floor, he's going to go till he absolutely is going to drop. So everybody's just equal importance as anybody else.
So they're doing really well, and they've finally gotten together, but how does the team stay this solid?
T, the gauntlet has arrived. Peebles is currently one of the top teams in the division and the district, and they have only 3 losses. And then next week, they have to play Trimble, and we all know the Tomcats are one tough team.
Well, with that being said, I think we're in for a great treat. Thanks, Ben. There's no easier place to find TVC basketball coverage down to the final buzzer than our Twitter account @Hardwood Heroes. Our reporters are out at games each and every night of the week, providing conference updates, stats, recaps, and more. Our page is the prime destination for all the coverage you need. Be sure to connect with us as well. You can shout out your team, favorite player, or send us a reply, whatever you want, and maybe your tweet will be featured on the air.
Let's move back to the TVC Ohio, where the Nelsonville York Buckeyes had a busy week, and here to break it down is lead reporter Will Price.
Both Buckeye teams had 2 games this week, big TVC Ohio matchups against Athens and Vinton County. The boys kicked off the week Tuesday against the Athens Bulldogs. The Buckeyes came out firing with a balanced attack led by Austin Thrapp and Drew Carter. They found themselves up 6 late in the first half, but faltered the rest of the night on their way to a 68-50 loss.
After the solid start, what led to the loss for NY?
One word: inconsistency. The Buckeyes have struggled all season to put together a complete game. We saw it again on Friday in their loss to Vinton County. NY can be competitive against their TVC Ohio opponents for stretches, but each game seems to have a decisive run go against them. And that's the biggest reason they find themselves winless in conference.
So what building blocks do they have as we head down the home stretch?
Focusing on their better moments to find a way to put together 4 good quarters. We talked to Athens head coach Mickey Kozar after their game on Tuesday, and he sees positives from NY this season.
They're well coached, and especially early on in that contest, they were playing pretty error-free. I thought offensively they were very sound.
For the girls, they had their biggest game of the regular season against the Vinton County Lady Vikings.
The Lady Buckeyes started out strong, but couldn't keep the momentum on their way to a 74-59 loss.
The Lady Buckeyes took the first game against the Lady Vikings this year. What changed for NY on Thursday?
The third quarter was the turning point of the game. The Lady Buckeyes were outscored 27-6 in the period, that proving to be the difference of the game. Mackenzie Hurd and Jocelyn Heller got scorching hot in the fourth quarter, combining for 8 3-pointers in the final frame, including 5 in a row for Mackenzie. It was too little too late, and the Lady Buckeyes couldn't take hold of first in the TVC Ohio.
Disappointing loss, but it wasn't the only game NY had on the week. What went right against Athens?
It was the opposite of Thursday for the Lady Buckeyes. They had a slow start, but came out firing in the second half. Mackenzie was finding her sister Haley often, and Haley capitalized and finished with 21 points and 12 rebounds against the Lady Bulldogs. They showed how potent they can be when firing on all cylinders. Talking with head coach Bobby Cassidy after the game against Benton County, he was frustrated, but reiterated that the Lady Buckeyes' goals are still in front of them.
We'll see how NY is able to bounce back next week for both teams. Thanks, Will.
Now we're going to move to Gloucester, and I'm joined by Trimble lead reporter Zach Paquette. And Zach, I hear Lady Tomcats had a lot at stake this week.
The Lady Tomcats had the chance to clinch a share of the TVC Hawking title for the first time in 15 years. But first, they had to take on Miller and Wahama. And things didn't start off the right way for the Lady Tomcats on Monday as they made the short drive to Corning to take on the Miller Lady Falcons. It was a sloppy game from the start for the Lady Tomcats, turnovers and missed shots galore. Give Miller a lot of credit though. They committed to the 3-2 zone and shut down the Trimble offense. Haley Joseph, held Jane Six to a season low 7 points on the night as Miller shocked the Lady Tomcats 38-35.
Now, we're usually used to seeing the Lady Tomcats put on the points. Did anybody find an offensive rhythm for them?
Not really, T. The four-headed monster that is Jane Six, Emily Young, Brianna Osborne, and Lakin Emler consistently wreak havoc on opponents. But that wasn't the case on Monday, as Young was the only one of the four to score in double figures. On average, those four score 46 points combined per game, but on Tuesday, they only put up 32 points.
Now, what about Thursday? Were they able to bounce back against Wahama?
A lot like Monday night, this game appeared to look the same as the Miller game, as there were lots of turnovers early on, and Trimble went into the half with a 16-12 lead. Not an ideal start for them, but Coach Richards is really good at making those halftime adjustments, and that was the case in the second half, as Trimble blew open the scoring in the third quarter and went on to win 50-28. Lakin Emler led the way with a career-high 24 points for the Lady Tomcats. So with Thursday's win, the Lady Tomcats clinch a share of the Hawking title, and they'll look to win it outright next week as they play Belpre and Waterford.
Now, what about the boys? Did they finally get to see any action this week?
Surprisingly, no, team. Both games got canceled this week due to the ongoing sickness going around Southeast Ohio. Some of their games have been rescheduled, and here is their updated schedule. The Tomcats are set to travel to Wahama next Tuesday, and here's where things get interesting. They have 2 straight weekends of back-to-backs, and they still have to reschedule the Miller game. So the Tomcats are going to have to enjoy the rest while they have it, because they'll be full speed come next week. And Friday night's matchup in Stewart could be very easily be for the Hawking title. And Trimble took round 1 by a narrow fashion, and the Lancers will be looking for revenge. This time, the Lancers will be looking to defend their home court.
Yeah, we're always used to seeing Trimble up in that TVC Hawking title race, and I think we're going to have a great week ahead of us slated for this next week. Thanks for your work, Zach. Hey, Sam, you know what time it is?
Well, T, I believe it's time to name our Boys and Girls Hero of the Week.
Exactly. We've been covering games all week long and seeing who shines on the court, and I'll get the ball rolling with our Boys Hero of the Week. I'm going with the dual athlete. He's a threat on the gridiron and the hardwood as well. I'm going with Coulter Cleland from the Megs Marauders. Coulter Cleland had a monster week in the Ohio. Tuesday night, he gave River Valley a headache with this nasty stat line: 23 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists en route to a 13-point win over the River Valley Raiders. 3 days later, he put on a nearly identical performance defending home court against the top dog in the Ohio with 22 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists, and showed off that clutch gene with the game-winning free throws for a 2-point win. Whew, that game was too close for comfort. Cleland is relentless when it comes to getting to the rim. He's always got his head on a swivel, looking to make plays for his teammates, and he's a shifty combo guard with a steadily improving outside shot. One of my favorite things about this kid is his nasty step back jumper. He'll leave defenders on skates and create space no matter how tight the defense. Cleveland and the Marauders are on a 4-game winning streak at the time of this recording, and they're really starting to show everyone in the Ohio just how dangerous they can be.
It is great to see Colter Cleveland as the Boys Hero of the Week. He definitely earned it.
For sure. Now, Sam, who did you decide on for the Girls Hero of the Week?
Haven't you heard? It's Mackenzie Hurd from the Nelsonville York Lady Buckeyes. This sophomore showed up with an agenda this week against the Vinton County Lady Vikings. The two teams were competing for the top spot in the TVC Ohio Conference. And though the Lady Buckeyes lost 74-59, Hurd stepped up and led the fight against the Lady Vikings. She put up 24 points, had 13 rebounds, and had 6 assists. In this game, she made 6 three-pointers, and 5 of those were in a row. Hurd sets the tempo for the game and always keeps the ball moving. She's a facilitator on offense and is one of the best defenders on the team. You can find her on the court for most of the game, and she's played a huge role in keeping the Lady Buckeyes toward the top of the conference. They also took down the top team in the Hawking, the Trimble Lady Tomcats, 51-49. In that game, Hurd put up 17 points.
Once again, another solid choice, but we should also give a shout out to Ashley Spencer on the Miller Falcons.
Absolutely. She's in the books as the all-time point scorer for the Lady Falcons at 1,134 points and counting. We are nearing the end of the show, but we're not quite finished yet. To wrap things up, we'll take a look at the standings rounding out the TVC Ohio and the TVC Hawking.
Now let's see if anything was shaken up in the standings going into this week. We'll start off with the boys in the TVC Ohio. Now looking at the standings, Alexander is ahead of the pack once again after Meg's upset win over Athens, who's now in second, followed by the Marauders at third. The rest of the league is looking mostly the same as Vinton County and Meg's remain the 4th and 5th best teams, while Wellston, River Valley, and Nelsonville York round out the rest of the league. Now over to the girls in the Ohio, things are looking pretty similar to the last week. The Vinton County Lady Vikings are back on top of the league with the Lady Spartans just behind. Those two teams are neck and neck. The Lady Buckeyes and River Valley follow in 3rd and 4th, leaving Athens, Meigs, and Wellston to make up the final spots in the Ohio at 6 and 7.
Now let's take a look at the boys' standings in the Hawking Conference. Federal Hawking is still on top after adding 2 more wins to its record. The Trimble Tomcats are just behind in 2nd place with another win this week over Belpre. At 3 and 4, we have the Belpre Golden Eagles and the Southern Tornadoes, followed by South Gallia and Waterford at 5th and 6th. Rounding out the conference standings are Eastern, Miller, and the Wahama White Falcons. For the girls, the Trimble Lady Tomcats are reigning dominant in the Hawking. Belpre makes its way to the 2nd spot with the Waterford Lady Wildcats ending the top 3. Federal Hawking and Wahama are at 4th and 5th, while Miller moves over Eastern, giving our 6th and 7th spots, which leaves South Gallia and Southern to finish our Hawking girls standings.
Let's keep our tradition of ending the show with a quote. This week we've got one from Kobe Bryant. The most important thing is to try and inspire people so that they can be great in whatever they want to do.
I couldn't think of a better way to end the show. I'm Sam Wiesnath here with my amazing co-host T. Willis, and from all of us at Hardwood Heroes, we're reminding you to be heroic.